The summer air makes anywhere seem safe enough to roam, but aisles are rough, so you must be tough if you plan to call one home. Once leaves turn brown, folks still around are in for quite a shock. The week don't last and few make it past one winter on the rock. Here ice-choked bays stay chinched till May with bergs that grind and groan. And beneath your skin you'll feel the wind slip down to freeze the bone. Snow by the ton might first seem fun as the storms begin to roar, but smiles disappear once trapped folks hear something howl outside their door. These rocky shores play home to scores of beasts who prowl the coasts. Hear devils' hooves dance on our roofs to wake the sleeping ghosts. You're sure a scare in the midnight air from a creature broad or bony, but of ghouls and trolls none has claimed more souls than the dreaded wild baloney. Now some years ago, in the gusting snow of a wretched cold Tibbs eve, with my woodpile limbed, my stove's glow dimmed, and the warm air took its leave, I packed on clothes, yet still I froze, tears cubing as they fell. I did all I could, but without more wood I'd bid this world farewell. Faced with these facts, I grabbed an axe and set out in the night, and though the wind blew harsh, I crossed the marsh, guided by the moon's soft light. I could barely see, but found a tree when I slammed into its trunk, and with one good swing, I brought the thing down with a mighty clunk. With wood to blaze in my stove for days, I headed home to bed. But the storm bore down, and I got turned around and lost the trail ahead. As the snowdrifts rose, my eyelids froze till I could not see a thing. I dropped to my knees and prayed, pretty please, I'd be found before the spring. With my body numb, I'd soon succumb beneath my icy tomb. But I stirred and woke when I smelled fresh smoke from a nearby stovepipe plume. So up I rose to trail my nose till I reached a cabin door, and with boots I kicked till the lock was picked, then I crumpled to the floor. All was still and black in the tiny shack, for the stove was no more lighted, and though I'd fled demise, it's rarely wise to barge in uninvited. For out in the snow you can never know what's lurking in the storm, and there just might be strange company on its way to keep you warm. With the furnace out and no wood about, I smashed some nearby chairs. Once the stove was lit, I knelt to sit before the flickering flares. But so near the fire, I began to tire and soon was heard to snore, but dreams dispatched when something scratched its claws across the floor. Consumed with fright, I sat upright and yanked the stove door wide. The hot orange glow lit tracks of snow that led in from outside. Faced with this threat, I began to sweat and hopped up to my feet, and there it was, warming its paws in the fire's roaring heat. With spiky hair, teeth everywhere, and scaly, dry pink skin, I knew straight away I'd be its prey when it smiled its ghastly grin. How could I escape this awful scrape, for I swear this as testimony, you've never seen a fiend so mean as the dreaded wild baloney. I grew sick with fear as the beast drew near and retched its sour breath. I screeched and screamed, is this a dream or am I facing death? With all my might, I prepared to fight, though this seemed a futile plan. So with chances slim and my odds grim, I turned around and ran. We went round the floor 50 times or more, for the cabin was so small, and the whole place rocked so bad we knocked a spice rack off the wall. The air grew thick till we both felt sick from the pepper, mace, and clove, and with a big achoo, the baloney flew inside the burning stove. I slammed the door and heard it roar as it sizzled, baked, and burned, and the sounds of wails and scratching nails while it left my stomach turned. Still, the smell of meat rising off the heat stirred a hunger in my soul. So once the howling stopped, the door was popped, and I ate the baloney whole. I'd soon had my fill, though I hungered still, so reached for the pantry door to toast my win with a sausage tin spied inside a dusty drawer. I pried off the top, but felt my heart stop, and I swear this isn't phony. There was just a note on which was wrote, we'll avenge the wild baloney. The winter air makes anywhere a risky spot to roam, So when storms bear down, have wood around and best stick close to home. And should you need to snack or feed, stick to bread or macaronis. It's not worth your lives, for no one survives those vengeful tinned balonies.